Hey, what's going on, guys? 118 Set Shadow here. There have been some interesting movements in the market for the last few days, and we got a few new announcements for Gandiva and Solairon from Bushiroad today. In addition to the fact that for the premium deck sets that they have been talking about recently for the Musketeers, the Jewel Knights, and Revengers, one nice thing about that is that all of them are getting Elementaria Sanctitude in them. So, last Market Watch I talked about how they were sold off the market with the exception of a few copies. Well, you can expect to see some decrease in price once those come out now that we know that they're actually getting another reprint in 3 different decks. But those decks are more pricey, so I wouldn't expect such a heavy decline. We'll talk about that on another day. For now, let's get started with today's Market Watch. So our first item for today is going to be Labrador from Trick or Trick, which I noted how this card was one of the ones that was going up in value with the last few Market Watches, and now it's a base $15 on TCG Player, where sold listings recently have been 12 to 15. So, yeah, Labrador's up there. If you need to pick them up, oh man, that's all I can tell you right now. Greed on Mask. This one is getting some more support when Divine Clash starts off. And I do want to cover that its price has been creeping upward from the change range. So I guess you could say it's penny stonk status. It might be breaking out. And it's now a pretty solid dollar amongst all of its listings. If you need to pick these up, at least they're still in the dollar range, and I anticipate that this deck is still going to be pretty popular once we get to Divine Z. Gandiva is still not really seeing much movement, even after today's news. We've got plenty of copies available for its triple rare starting at the 450 range, and the FFR still has 6 listings starting at 65. I mean, it's a far cry from where this card used to be, but we'll see if the new support does it any favors. One thing that is getting some big value gains, though, is Bernea, which, for its double rare right now, this is one of Gandiva's support cards, but it's used with Varga. And right now, its double rare is currently $5 base with 4 listings, while the FR has been bought out to the point of a single listing at $13. Both of them have a market price hovering around $2, but yeah, at least if you have your Gandiva decks, you've got a little extra value in this card now. Solairon is another card that got a little announcement today, but it is running short on listings on its triple rare. 9 listings overall, starting at $1.50. This used to be one of those easy to pick up triple rare boss units. And the FFR, which is its high rarity right now, is at $22 to start with 10 listings. So just keep in mind, if you do want to try out this deck, it is getting some new support, and it is rising in price. Ristal Galer primarily used for Drajeweled, has a buyout right now on its FR with only 1 listing at $7 right now, and the market price is $2.39 there. If you want the rare, there are still plenty available. 22 listings available at 35 cents to start. And that's where it goes for that. Now, talking about one of the commons that we covered before, Drag Rider Midot, which works by when your unit stands, you retire this and draw. I was talking about how this could possibly go up in value with Varga, and well, we're down to 2 listings on this starting at $3. Recent sales on it have been more of dollar range. One person did buy them at $3, but all those listings that were underneath $1 are now gone as of the last few days, and the only listings left are a combined 30 copies that start off at 3 and move up to 4. So if you have a bunch of these in your bulk, they're up there in value, and you can get at least $1 for these now. Blitz Mechanic Escara. While this one wasn't featured too much in Welstra decks for the Divine format, This card is short on listings for its double rare at $4 right now to start. And the FR has 9 listings starting at $5.98. So Escara is a potential option if you want to consider using it for Wellstra and Divine. So just keep your eye on it, and if it does go somewhere, this is a set 7 card. So it won't have very much quantity on the market at any point. Maliva, which is one of the newer Feb-March promos for Magnolia, just wanted to call out the foil on this is bought out to the point of $28 with a single listing, and we do have a lot of copies on the regular promo at $10 to start off with. I mean, give it another month and we should see more hit the market, but we'll see where it overall goes after that. Sogyo, which was one of the more popular crit triggers to pick up for Dragon Empire. The base price is $135 when you look at it from a free shipping perspective, but we do have a few copies available for under $1 right now. Actually, we do have more at $1 at that point, but then ultimately this card is still holding over the $1 range. And then you've also got Dual Pressure Dragon, which right now only has one listing that's underneath $1. Excuse me. And it's still holding very close to the $3 mark for a lot of its listings. Remember, until we get to Divine Z where we start to get the vanilla triggers, and I mean, we already have the Bang Dream vanilla triggers, for crying out loud. Some of the Bang Dream triggers from set 11 could very well be cheaper than a few of these crits, so it may actually be better just to pick those up instead. We've also got Rampart Aspida for Galactic Heroes. This one is short on listings for its double rare and starts at $225 for the lowest listing, which is just a little higher than the market price of the FR, and the FR has 6 listings starting at $185. So, once again, make sure you're paying attention to your rarities. Some of them are cheaper on the high end, and this is one example here. Incorruptible Holy Light Yufa. This is the stand-based heal for Dark States, and it's still got a number of listings on the double rare, 10 overall starting at $183, and the SP is starting to run out at 3 listings starting at $21.05. So a lot of the other stand-based heals have been moving. We talked about those last time, but the other ones are starting to catch up as well. We've only got 3 listings left on Fine Drink of Abolishment for the foil version of this card. This card has been bought out to the point of $3, and with 3 listings left and a combined 7 copies, there's just a lot of anticipation for use of this card when Stoichia gets its Divine unit called out, I suppose. And on top of that, it is usable with the ride line that we've got for the first set, which allows you to play more Blitz orders. Drag Veta, now that we have the Shiranui deck out. Looking at overall listings of this one, we've seen decreases in price for the over double Rs, but they're still around the $20 range, and the trial deck version from the Shiranui deck is almost $10 now. Excuse me. So, yeah, unfortunately the price really didn't drop off too far, and given how short printed this deck set was, I don't think it's really going to go even any farther down. And our final item for today is the DSR of Trickstar, which now has listings underneath $100, and there are $90 for a number of copies at this point. Given we're probably not going to see Overdress for a while, I can imagine that we might see this drop a little bit further, but it is the DSR of an iconic unit, so I would not consider this to go much farther down than maybe the $70, maybe even $60 range. That's me just thinking, but when you consider this is going to be nostalgia at some point down the line, it'll maintain its value in the long term. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.